just giving everybody a minute to get logged in, guys, and then we're going to get started. We have got football tonight. It's all about the football. We've got a box of 16 honors to open and some 15-16 clear vision, and then a half case of mini helmets. So we got all kinds of interesting things to get into tonight. Let me get the spreadsheet up, and we're going to take a look at who's in our first break. And our first break is our case of 2015 Clear Vision football. You will see, of course, 9 times. That's the case quantity. And then there's the year and the title of the product. And this is the first time we've broken 2015 Clear Vision. I've broken a bunch 2016, but this is the first time for 2015. So that's why it says number 1 right there. And then, of course, the eBay end date, that's tonight. Live stream schedule, that is here and now. And our team names are down the left. Winning bidder names are down the right-hand side. And we've got a whole bunch of unpaid teams in this break. They all belong, I believe, to the same bidder. So hopefully that payment will come in shortly, but as of the time the spreadsheet was finalized, which was about 7 or 8 minutes ago, that payment had not yet come in, so that is why they are marked as unpaid. So after we do the clear vision, then we'll do honors, and then we will do our mini helmets, because normally I break in the order that things end on eBay. And typically I would have listed honors first, since it's a quicker break, and then I would have listed clear vision more towards the end, but for whatever reason I didn't do it that way this time. So we're going to go ahead and just stick with the order that we had on eBay, and we're going to get into our clear vision first, and then honors, and then mini helmets. And so while I'm getting all of these out of here, and I've decided to pick the box up off the table so that I don't give you motion sickness trying to keep jostling the camera, trying to get all these boxes out of here. So while I'm working on getting clear vision opened up and ready to go, this is probably a good time to talk about combined item shipping. And we talk about this a lot, but it seems to come up a lot. So I'm going to continue to talk about it a bit. So basically, guys, here's what happens. eBay sends out their own end of auction invoice, and it's generated automatically. I don't have any control over that. And on that invoice, it's going to give you, the full shipping price for everything. Just ignore that invoice if you have bid on more than one team or more than one break. You're going to get it. I can't control that. Just don't pay it. You don't want to pay it until you see the adjusted invoice, which I have to manually send out. I have to combine the teams, add it up, change the shipping amount, and then hit send. And I do that typically after the last auction of the night ends. Sometimes, if we've got a lot of stuff ending, I may invoice kind of in the middle of the breaks, just so that there's not so much to do at the end, and then I'll do it again at the end. So, let's say you get an invoice in the middle, and you're done. You don't have any more teams that you're planning to bid on, and you're not bidding in any of the other breaks for the night, then you're good to pay it. If you are bidding on other teams or in other breaks and you want to wait and see if you win them, then just ignore the first one that you get and wait until you would get the final one that would have the correct shipping amount on it. So that is the way to handle combined invoices. I send them out again, typically after the last auction of the night ends. Now, the other thing to keep in mind, and this happened with somebody tonight. I went through, I combined the invoices, and I can see them from my side. So I can see that they're combined. I can see that the amount is correct. Everything looks good from my side, and all my invoicing is done. And then I go back in a few minutes later to see, how many things we still had that were not yet paid, and I see that some of those items were uncombined. So something in the checkout process caused them to uncombine. So I said, okay, well, whatever happened in the checkout process, I'll just combine it again. So I went back and again combined the same invoice for the second time, and then I later got a message from the bidder that they still said their invoice didn't work. I don't know exactly what didn't work means, but what I do know is that I have been told by a number of you guys, I don't use the app myself to make payments, but I've been told by a number of you guys that when you use the app to make payments, that it is very common for the invoice to show incorrectly. So I will continue to remind everybody, if you have a combined invoice and it shows a weird total, and you know I've already sent out the corrected invoice, the manual invoice, then pay from the website instead of paying through the app, and that should take care of it. All right, so here we go. First up, we have the Browns. You know, there's a lot of base in here, so I don't know that we have to go through all of the base other than to just show it, because our main thing is, of course, we want to see our hits. And first up, we have Leonard Williams for the Jets, and that is numbered to 99. Whoops, I got that a little close to camera, don't I? That's 85 of 99 on the Leonard Williams fabric for the Jets. And, oh, hi, John. And you're looking for an Amari Cooper. Okay. And Aaron's putting out Niners or Pats. And that's what we have out in the universe tonight then. All right. And you know, sometimes that works. Sometimes you can put out in the universe, hey, I'm looking for XYZ, and the universe will answer and we'll pull it in the break. So I'm all for putting in there what you're looking for. I always think that's a good idea. And just let the universe deliver. That's my theory anyway. This is one of those little blank dummy cards. But anyhow, so I don't know, guys, what the deal is with the app. Like I said, I don't use the app myself to make payments, so I don't know why the app does not always reflect a combined invoice shipping total that has been manually adjusted, but I have been told more than once that does happen from time to time. So if it happens to you, just go, pay through the website. That does not appear to be numbered on that Jags. That's Marquise Lee and Allen Robinson. And I kind of thought it would be numbered, but I guess it isn't. So, all right. The other thing I think that could happen, and I haven't verified this, I can't tell you for certain that it happens, but what I think a possibility is sometimes if you try to check out from the cart and you've got a bunch of stuff in the cart, that may be what causes the invoice to uncombine to begin with. So you might try going to items I've won in the My eBay section and paying from there if you have a lot of stuff in your cart. This is one of the Clarity cards. They don't have these in 2016 Clear Vision, but obviously they did in 2015. And this is kind of a thick, it's just kind of a hunk of plastic, basically, for lack of a better term, but it's real thick. You can kind of see, and it's made out of plastic, so it's kind of a cool card. So that's the Clarity. I think that is a case hit, if I am not mistaken, and that's for the Rams. So I know there are definitely some differences in, well, I guess it must not be a case hit, because here's another one, and this one is Emmitt Smith for the Cowboys. So maybe there's one of these in every box. I don't know. This is my first time opening 2015 as well. So I guess we're about to find out if there's one in every box or not. And maybe there is. That'd be nice because they're kind of cool. I think you'll like them when you get them because you'll see what I'm talking about. It's a nice heavy sort of weight. And there's another one of our two-player cards. Does not appear to be numbered on that one either. That one was, of course, for the Saints. Another one of our little blocky blank cards. And those are in there really just to keep people from all the people that try to feel up the packs, and try to pull the packs that have the hits in them. That's why they started putting those thick blank cards in there. Which I assume it's probably similar to or the same thickness as what some of the memorabilia cards and things would be. So people that are there, there's a rookie revision Tim Tebow. So it's like what's the word I'm trying to say? Revisiting his rookie year or whatever you want to call it. Clearly he's not a rookie in 2015. He's long gone from the league by 2015. But anyway, yeah, I think it's kind of funny when they put those little block things in there, because you know it gets a bunch of people. You just know it does. Those people that are there grabbing around trying to pull all the hits. Okay, so you wanted an Amari Cooper. So does that mean that we should not turn over this Bo Jackson? Yeah, I think we'll turn over your Bo Jackson. How about that, to 99? So you have a nice Bo Jackson materials hit numbered to 99, which I got to tell you, I think is pretty cool, right? Bo knows football. I like it. I like it. I like it. Throwback. Yeah, okay, that's another word to use for it. Reproduction, revisiting, reprinting, throwback. Yeah, any of those. Take your pick. That's what that was. So I guess we must have one of these clarity cards in every single box. So there you go. This one is for the Chiefs. Nothing else. You can always use the clarity card for a paperweight, I guess. I mean, it has a nice little heft to it. This is Team Vision, Dez Bryant, Jason Witten, and Tony Romo. And, of course, that is for the Cowboys. And look at that. It's a little bit of a refractor, too. So at least some of the material has the coating on it that makes it refract. See, I'm learning about all the things we're going to find in here as we go along myself, seeing as how I haven't opened it before. We're kind of learning it together. There's a Sammy Coates rookie card. You know I'm going to stop on that because that's my Pittsburgh Steelers. I love my Steelers, and I like our Steelers draft class. I think it's pretty solid. Oh, and I got an invitation this week to go to the rookie premiere. Well, actually, I got the invitation on Friday, but I didn't see it. I didn't see it until Sunday. Yeah, so I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go or not because I think it's on the 18th, so it's coming up pretty quickly. It's in LA, and I don't mind any of that. I lived in LA for a while, so I've got lots of friends there and plenty of things I could do besides just go to the rookie premiere. But my problem is it's right at the time we've got a product coming out. Majestic Football comes out on the 17th, I think, and that's a nice high-end new release, and I want to be here to break it, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Matthew Stafford materials hit for the Lions, and this is number 43 of 49, but it's just a big white piece of cloth. Like, come on, why couldn't we have had another color in there? That's all I'm saying. It's to 49, and all we get is white, so I'm not loving that we just get the white. So I wish I knew exactly who was going to be at premiere day, because they only invite 40 players. And if I knew for sure who was going to be there, and I knew it was going to be a couple of my good new Steelers guys, I probably would do it. Matt Ryan for the Falcons on this clarity card. And I might still do it anyway, just because I think it'd be fun. But I'm undecided. If it weren't for Majestic coming out, it wouldn't really be a problem for me, but that does kind of make it a bit of a problem. Here is Kaepernick, Carlos Hyde, and Anquan Bolden for the 49ers on one of the Team Vision cards. But I don't think, they don't usually invite very many of the defensive players to the rookie premiere for whatever reason. So I'm going to guess that they'll probably go all the way into, round 4 and pull out some people like Josh Dobbs. It's who we drafted, the Steelers. And I'm sure I don't know why I say little, none of them are little. But I think that Juju Smith-Schuster will probably be there. And I wouldn't mind running across him preseason. Oh, there's a Derek Carr. Look at that, Raiders. So we still haven't pulled exactly who you wanted, because you wanted Amari Cooper, right? But so far we've pulled you a Bo Jackson. Now we have a Derek Carr, and I wonder if this is going to be... Oh, it is not signed. I thought we might get lucky. But it is numbered to 25. It's got some... What is that? A little bit of... It's got some kind of, I don't know, schmutzy little bit of stuff there on the end of it. It'll probably wipe off whatever that is. Overall, it's not in too bad a shape. You got a few little dents and dings on the corners and edges, but that's pretty common on all these clear cards, as you guys know. So there's a nice Derek Carr piece of fabric to 25, and of course you do have two colors in it. You've got the gray and the black, and I think that's a pretty sweet hit. I like that because I like getting the nice fabric pulls. I'm a sucker for a nice patch. So Raiders, you put it out in the universe, and it's coming back to you, just not in the player you wanted exactly. But we still have a little bit to go, so you never know. All right, this is a little different look. Joe Montana, and this, of course, is like our Clarity cards, but yet it's not a Clarity card. It kind of has a stained glass sort of look to it, so I'm going to call it our stained glass card. And that's pretty cool, actually. I think I like that better even than the Clarity card. So that's a nice hit for you, Niners, with the Joe Montana. We're going to go with stained glass card. Whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure what the official name is. There was Le'Veon. Of course, the last time we opened Clear Vision, which was the 16 Clear Vision, we pulled the Tom Brady Tom Brady signature numbered to 5 out of there, so it's going to be hard to beat that tonight. Demaryius Thomas, Peyton Manning, and C.J. Anderson on the Team Vision card for the Broncos. That Tom Brady numbered to 5 was a pretty sweet little hit out of that last case of 16 Clear Vision that I don't know, haven't been that long ago. There is Amari, not in hit form, but there is an Amari rookie card in there anyway. And we're going to have Trey Mason up for the Rams. And that is numbered to 99, but it is at least first in the series, so it is number 1 of 99. And, of course, again, a materials hit for the Rams with the Trey Mason. And we're buzzing right along, making good progress here. There's a lot of packs, but there's not a lot of cards in each pack, which honestly I think is kind of a little bit weird. Like, why wouldn't you just make less packs and put a few more cards in them? I don't know. I think that's kind of a strange decision, but I guess Panini has their reasons. This one is numbered 95 of 99 on the Drew Brees for the Saints. If you can maybe catch that number. There we go. At that angle, I think you can see it. It's on the right-hand side by his knee. So I kind of like Clear Vision, and you can pull some cool stuff out of it. Especially, I think 15 was the first year of it. 16, they had a certain, they may have changed it. I don't know how it was in 15, but in 16, you always got one really nice signature, nice low-numbered one, and usually, pretty high-value one. So there's a lot to be said for Clear Vision, I think. This is Curtis Martin on one side, and who is that on the other side? Oh, is that just Curtis? That is just Curtis Martin in both. I don't remember Curtis Martin playing for two different teams, but I guess he did. So that's kind of a drag because that means that somebody's not going to get it unless we have the same team owner for the Jets and the Patriots. So we're going to set that one aside, and we'll have to go to random.org. Well, we'll look at the spreadsheet and see if we have the same or different team owners first, and then depending on what that tells us, we may have to go to random.org to figure out which team is going to take that card home. And our Clarity out of here for the Jags with Blake Bortles, which should be interested to see how things go for him this year. They've gotten him a little bit of help maybe, so we'll see if that saves his job or not. I think if he doesn't make it happen this year, he's probably not going to be employed there too much longer. Matthew Stafford for the Lions on the Clarity card. Oh, it's going to random. Okay, so, God, man, you guys are good. You remember what was on the spreadsheet? Like, I just looked at it, and I don't even remember what was on it. Dorial Green Beckham rookie card, and that's actually pretty cool. It's a refractor, and, of course, you can see you've got, with the card design, that's his eyes over there out aside. And, again, I would look at this and think that this thing would be numbered, but it isn't numbered. but I do like it. That's a pretty cool design, actually. And we'll set it over here. We'll put it in a sleeve or something later, so we'll keep it in a separate little spot there. So yeah, Aaron, I'm impressed that you can remember those team owners on that spreadsheet, because I can't even, I don't even remember it 3 minutes after I've put it up there. But that's also probably because I have looked at them so many times, and across the 3 different auctions that end tonight, you know, there's no hope of me remembering all 96 of them, of who goes with what. All right, so we're going to have, well, there's your Kurt Warner first. And then our hit is Dan Hampton for the Bears. And looks like this one is going to be signed because it says signatures on the back. So Dan Hampton, 19 of 50, is a signature hit for the Bears. And I don't really know Dan Hampton, but it seems like, just looking here at the back, he played in the 70s. And it seems like if you're a Bears fan, you probably are going to know who he is. So congrats to the Bears on your Dan Hampton signature. Oh, that's how you know. Good job, Aaron. So you have one of the teams, but not the other. I'm just thinking you had like a photographic memory, man. I was about to be impressed. You should have just let me roll with that. Jay Cutler for the Bears on the Clarity card. Of course, these days it's just Jay Cutler in the broadcast booth. But anyway, we'll be curious to see how he does. Calvin Johnson for the Lions. Kurt Warner again. When you look at some of these old cards, isn't it like crazy how big the gear was then compared to how it is now? Just the way it fits and everything. I always, when you look at the older ones and you see how big the shoulder pads and things were compared to now, it's always kind of interesting to me. One of the many things that have changed, of course, over the years. So I guess the main difference between 15 and 16 Clear Vision is 16 has a lot more numbered inserts, whereas 15 doesn't really seem to have those. But 15 has the Clarity cards and had that stained glass card, which 16 doesn't have. And 15 has 2 signatures per case, and then still, you know, a hit in every pack, but at least 2 signatures per case. And they are usually pretty high profile names that everybody would know. So I guess that must be the difference, or the main differences between 15 and 16 Clear Vision. Matt Jones is up for the Redskins. Ooh, it's 1 of 2, and there's your Nike swoosh. Oh, sweet. Ha ha ha. I like that. Matt Jones, 1 of 2, and the Nike swoosh. That is sweet. Okay, I'm just saying it. I like it. I like it very much. I would. Oh, I'm not even really a Redskins fan. I have a friend who's a Redskins fan, but I would keep that card if I had pulled that in a break myself. I would keep that bad boy, because that is that's pretty nice. My favorite still, though, is we pulled out of, I don't even remember what series it came out of, if it was in Spectra or what it was in, but we actually got a patch that had the Dolphin from the Dolphins on it, and that's probably my favorite patch ever. 63 of 99 on the Melvin Gordon for the Chargers. And yeah, the one with the actual little dolphin, pretty cool, but daggone, that Nike swoosh is really nice too. Yeah, it is. LT. Mike Davis for the Niners, and the Mike Davis is 98 of 99. Actually, you know what? Is that, well, I guess that's just part of the card design. There for a minute, I thought there was I thought I had glanced at it and there was a second color on it, but it's not. It's part of the card design, and the patch itself is just all red. Just a big piece of red. so all this stuff that we're opening tonight, I am thinking is probably going to be on the way to you Thursday, possibly Friday, maybe even Wednesday if life goes without a hiccup, but most likely Thursday is what I'm thinking, just by the way. Mr. Antonio Brown for the clarity card, our last clarity card. So before we do our hits recap, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy here again, Curtis Martin, and we've got to look at the Jets and the Patriots. Of course, Aaron's already told us that it's going to be two different owners, but we'll flip through here just for the sake of seeing who our owners are. So the Jets is Maxwell Dog, and then our Patriots, of course, that would be Aaron. So we're going to roll over to random, and I always put this stuff in there top to bottom or left to right, depending on, why do I have two things open? Depending on how the card is oriented. This one is oriented left to right, so the Jets are going to go in first. The Patriots are going to go in second. We're going to hit random 3 times, and whichever team is on the top at the end of the third time, we'll take that card home. And there's our second one. Look at that. I spelled Jets wrong. That was good, wasn't it? I didn't even notice it till just now. All right, so the Patriots, you'll see randomized 3 times. There's a date and time stamp. Patriots on top. We're going to go ahead and take this back because we will have to use it again for our nightly giveaway at the very least. And why does it suddenly show us a black, what happened there? Oh, now it's back. Oh, that was weird. That's kind of strange. All right, so this little card right here is the only one that had to go to random, and random gave it to the Patriots. So this Curtis Martin card, numbered to 99, is going to the Patriots. And I am just, all right, yeah, I just had to make sure we were back where we needed to be there. Now let's recap the rest of our hits. Do you guys want to recap the clarity cards, or are we good with those, or what do we want to do there? You guys just let me know. Oh, and I see somebody's got in there that you paid your teams. Great, thank you. I mean, obviously, you know, I have to finalize that spreadsheet before I can start the break, and I don't have access to email or any of that during the break, so no way to know that. That's why I always say get the payments in, you know, 10, 15 minutes before the break starts, and then we know for sure that it's a done deal. But that's no problem. You'll still get anything that you are due to get. So the Mike Davis is number 98 of 99 for the Niners. And for the Redskins, this is just sweet. There's just no other way to say it. I mean, I wish they could have made it a 1 of 1, because then that would have been, like, better than 1 of 2. But you don't get much better than that patch, because that is the Nike swoosh, and it is Matt Jones. It is a rookie card, and it's 1 of 2, and it's a pretty sweet little hit. For the Bears, we have Dan Hampton, signature number 250. And again, I don't know that player. He played in the 70s, so that's a little bit before I would be around to know what that was about, but I'm going to trust that the Bears players probably know who that is. Trey Mason, 1 of 99, materials hit. This is another nice patch, 7 of 25 on the Derek Carr patch for the Raiders. Nice 2 colors on it. Matthew Stafford, numbered 249, but they gave us a drab 1-color white patch. Like, why, you know, come on, man. You could have at least given us blue or something that just wasn't plain old white. But now I don't mind having plain old white from Bo Jackson. This is 17 of 99, another hit for the Raiders. I don't mind a bit having some game-worn material from Bo Knows Football being white. That's okay. I'm okay with that. For the Jets, Leonard Williams to 99. And I did notice, you guys may have noticed it the first time around, we do have some chipping and stuff down here around the corners and the edges, particularly down there on that lower right for the Leonard Williams. And again, unfortunately, that's pretty common on all of these thicker cards. They don't even come out of the pack, you know, at in mint condition, which is a little bit of a drag. Oh, Hampton was on the 85 Bears team. Okay, so Hampton is kind of a big deal then for the Bears fans. All right, well, that is good to know. I'm glad to know then that our Bears are probably pretty happy with that. Well, since I've got them in my hand, we may as well just do these anyway. Clarity for the Steelers. Clarity for the Bears. For the Lions. The Jags. The nice stained glass Joe Montana, or I'm calling it stained glass, for the Niners. Matt Ryan for the Falcons. For the Chiefs. The Cowboys. And the Rams. And again, most of this stuff, look for it to, generally speaking, I'm thinking it's probably going to be heading out the door on Thursday. Again, there's a possibility it'll go sooner. There's always a possibility it would go a day later, but that's the current estimated time frame. Okay, now we're rolling into some honors. Let me get myself on the right page for the spreadsheet, and then we'll take a look at who our team owners are in this break and see what kind of fun stuff we can pull out of here. Okay, so this is the first time we have broken honors, and this is because somebody asked me to get it in and give it a shot, and it might have been Jory. I'm not sure if that was you or not, Jory, but it might have been. So here we go. Team names down the left, winning bidder names down the right. We have one team that didn't sell. It's designated no bids buyback because, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. Nobody loved the Browns in this break. Nobody wanted them. So if a Brown comes out, it will have to live here with me for the time being. So we shall see what we can find. I know there's some good stuff that can come out of here. So let's hope we get it. Let's hope we get the good stuff. Of course, you know, hits are never bad, in my opinion. Some people disagree with me, but I kind of think anytime you get a hit, it's going to be a good thing. Oh, I already see something that makes me smile. So, yeah, you know if it makes me smile that there's a Steeler in there. And indeed there is. And it is Heath Miller, number 12 of 18. And there's, of course, this is originally out of 2011 Elite. And then, of course, you can, if I can get it at the right angle, there we go. So you can see, of course, they added his signature. It was originally that materials hit over there. So he signed it, and then they've hand numbered it 12 of 18. So nice Heath Miller hit for the Steelers. First up out of honors. Next up for the Texans, we have Braxton Miller, rookie card. And that is number 23 of 75. And that might be Steven that has the Texans tonight. For some reason, I think it is. It maybe not. I don't know. I do remember thinking that the Texans didn't go for a lot. I remember thinking that. But then I also, for some reason, think that Steve had it. Maybe not. But I'm thinking maybe so. Because I thought, why did he buy the Texans? Somebody who doesn't always buy the Texans. And then we have David Johnson, numbered to 99 as our third card. 57 of 99 on the David Johnson. So there we go. Our two hits right here. Texans and the Steelers. Well, I don't think we did too badly there. And then our little David Johnson, numbered to 99 for the Cardinals. So that is the break and the recap for honors. That went by pretty quickly. And, oh, you know what I just thought about? Daggone it. Shoot. Somebody asked me for this empty box, and I did not even think about it. And when I opened it, I cut the X on it like I always do. Shoot. To take the plastic off. So I kind of messed up the top of the box, and I completely forgot about that. Jared, if you still want that, let me know. I forgot, man. I don't know. I just completely forgot. I don't know what happened there. Just went right out of my head until I was getting ready to toss it aside. And then I was like, oh, shoot. I do remember seeing a message about that. All right. So next up, we have, this is our last break of the night. We have a half case of 2017 TriStar Autograph Mini Helmets. And this is oh boy, I used to be able to speak. The 8th time that we have broken it in the half case quantity. But I tell you what, guys, I'm getting ready to, because I do single breaks and then we do the half case breaks and then the numbers are similar. So I think what I'm going to do going forward is, regardless of whether we're breaking one or whether we're breaking a half case or whatever we're doing, I think I'm just going to, I think the next one up is already numbered as 9 because it is a half case break. And then after that, we're just going to go numerically regardless of whether it's quantity 1 or quantity 5. So the next break will be 10, whether it's a single or whether it's multiples, and then we'll just keep adding to it that way, because otherwise I think it's getting a little bit confusing since this is one of the products I break in differing quantities. So in the meantime, this case is way too big for me to set up on the table, so I am getting it cut open right now down here in the floor. Well, trying to anyway. And then we will, this is kind of one of those, it's not really the way it's packed in this case. You can't really do right, left. I mean, you could do top, bottom, but I don't know if that makes that much difference either. So I think we're just going to reach in here and grab us 5 of these bad boys. There was one already on the table back here in the corner. We're not messing with him because he's a single one that isn't part of this new sealed case. So we're going to get all of these out of our new case. And then, of course, we have the other half of this case on Sunday, the last 5 out of there. And the one little fella that's sitting there in the back corner by himself, he'll be a single box break that'll be done, I don't know when because it's not listed yet. But we didn't want to, you know, I didn't want to mix him in with our case because he doesn't belong there. He's got his own little break that will be just him or her. I don't know why I'm saying, well, I mean, because why would a helmet be a girl, really, right? So I think I'm okay saying him. I've got a neighbor who gives me a lot of grief because I'll be talking about various things. You know, we've planted a bunch of stuff recently, and I'll be talking about the trees or this thing or that thing or the other thing that we've planted, and I always refer to inanimate objects like plants and trees with pronouns. And she's like, why does your tree have to be a he? I'm like, well, why wouldn't my tree be a he? Who cares? I mean, just because I call it a he, probably because I spend so much time breaking these cards and things, and that is always going to be a male pronoun. So I think I just get in the habit of saying it, but she does give me a lot of grief over calling all kinds of things he. Oh, this is a nice one. Look at that. Can you see who that is? Yeah, that would be Derrick Henry. So that's kind of fun. Got the nice little, I was just looking on the bottom here to see if it says, well, some of these, I'll tell you really what I'm looking at. You see this little date code right there? And it says whatever. It looks like he signed it in February of 16. But sometimes those little date codes are really old, and I was just curious when it had been signed. So here is our Derrick Henry helmet is first up. We're going to set Derrick Henry aside over there. And we'll come back to Derrick once we get through the rest of them. Oh, this is a nice one too. This is Mike Munchak. And Munchak, of course, being an Oiler helmet, heads off to the Titans because, yeah, guess what? The Oilers became the Houston Oilers became the Tennessee Oilers became the Tennessee Titans. So, yeah. So the Mike Munchak is headed to the Titans because cards and items kind of always stay with their franchise. And hang on one second here. I'm trying to get the iPad to come up and help me out with something, and they're not. It's scrolling kind of. I don't know. It's doing its own thing lately. The iPad's kind of gone a little wonky on me, and so I was trying to get back where I could see chat. It's been a Raiders kind of night, huh? This is Daryl LaMonica. You can see that signature kind of up there on the top. So the Raiders are kind of going crazy, pulling everything tonight. This is just a little like informational card that they put in there. The authentication and all that stuff comes right there off of those stickers, and it tells you, I think, on the front of that card where you go to look at it. See, like this one, for instance, signed December of 2010. And the reason I'm looking at that is because somebody made a point the other day when we opened one of the full-size helmets of saying, you know, oh, that company, you know, must be terrible because they're getting rid of their old stock or whatever. I'm like, no, it's kind of not like that. Like, all the companies do that. All the companies get a bunch of stuff signed when somebody is a rookie, and then they get a bunch of stuff signed when somebody gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, and then they just keep it until they, you know, eventually it cycles in. All right, this is John Huarte, and I don't know this guy, so we'll have to look this guy up because I don't know him at all. And what does it say on the bottom? Just says Notre Dame, Irish. So we'll have to see who drafted this guy or what his deal is. So we'll have to get back to him. So we're going to leave him there for a minute. And our last one coming out of here. This is like this is a throwback helmet. I'm trying to dig the little card out. Oh, look who it is. Charlie Taylor on the throwback Redskins helmet. So that's nice. I like the Charlie Taylor too. That is pretty cool. Meanwhile, I got to go over here to NFL.com for a second, and I have to look up John Huarte, or however you say his name. So give me a second here while I type this in, which means I also cannot see chat right at this moment because I'm on a different page trying to pull this guy up. All right, so Huarte played 2 years for the Patriots, 1 year for the Eagles, 3 years for the Chiefs, and 1 year for the Bears. So that means that the Huarte is going to the Kansas City Chiefs. So that answers that question. And give me 1 second here. And then we are going to recap all of that. I just have to get back over to my correct page so that I can find you guys again. And then we got to scroll down through all this stuff. Okay. Somebody, Aaron, what are you saying about the Jets? Because my NFL.com is showing not the Jets. I read off the teams that it said that this Huarte guy played for. So, yeah, that he would appear to be a Kansas City Chief. He played for him for 3 years. So, Huarte here on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish is headed off to the Kansas City Chiefs. Next up is our Charlie Taylor for the Redskins on the throwback helmet. And that, of course, nice hit. Then our Daryle Lamonica for the Raiders. Mike Munchak, which, of course, is headed off to the Tennessee Titans because the Oilers became the Tennessee Titans. And then the Titans, with an embarrassment of riches, also get the Derrick Henry. So how about that? The Titans had a good mini helmet break, didn't they? Who was drafted by the Jets and unsigned? I don't see. That's not what NFL.com says. Are you still talking about Huarte, or are you talking about somebody else? Because what I'm showing for, let me go back, and I have to go out of chat for a minute and pull up Huarte, Huarte. Let me pull him up again. And yeah, it says that he played in 66 for the Patriots, 67 for the Patriots, 68 for the Eagles, 69, 70, and 71 for the Chiefs, and 72 for the Bears. So that would make the helmet going to the Kansas City Chiefs because he played for them for 3 years. He didn't play for anyone else any longer than that. The next closest would have been the Patriots at 2 years. But again, he played with the Chiefs for 3, so that should make, that should be the Chiefs. So did you have another question about it, Aaron, or were you looking at something different? I mean, I'm literally on NFL.com pulling it up under historical players. So before we do the nightly random, I want to make sure we're all squared away on this. So if you have another question or anything else we need to discuss on that, let me know, and we'll knock that out before we move forward and do our nightly random. Meanwhile, I guess I can count out our nightly random cards while I'm waiting to see if you have another question. 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. All right. We grab, of course, a different chunk of stuff each night. So I don't see, you haven't said anything else, Aaron, so I don't know if you're good or not or what's happening with you. So I'll leave the mini helmet sitting out on the table for a minute while I make sure, because I know there is a delay with chat. When you guys type it until I see it, there is definitely a delay. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and start on our nightly random. And you'll see on tab 2, this is just everybody from all 3 breaks tonight, and I just already had it cut and pasted into tab 2 of our spreadsheet, and that's really just to make it go faster so you guys don't have to watch me try to cut and paste them a break at a time, because that can be kind of tedious. So that's why I do it like that. And then we will scroll back up, and there we go. So let's hit random and see who our winner is going to be tonight, and then we'll let random decide which thing out of the stack you're going to get. And it is Wildcard Sports Collectibles is our winner. Wildcard Sports Collectibles. And then I'm going to just roll over here and grab, you might have noticed on that tab 2, I had 1 through 10 just typed in there. So now I'm just grabbing it so that I can drop it in here again and figure out what Wildcard Sports Collectibles is going to win tonight out of our stack. And looks like we're item number 7. So item number 7 out of our stack of 10. So let's just go from the bottom. That might be easier. 10, 9, 8, 7. All right. So you have got a piece of material for, it looks like the Jags Mercedes Lewis. And this is out of Plates and Patches 2011, I think that says. We'll have to flip it over and maybe I can see better. It's number 41 of 48. Yeah, it was out of 2011 Plates and Patches originally. 41 of 48 Mercedes Lewis material. So that is coming to you, Wildcard Sports Collectibles. And then, all right, so I'm reading, Aaron, you've got something else in there. So Aaron, are you feeling like that the helmet should not go to the Chiefs, or are you just kind of generally sharing information about the guy? I just want to make sure that I know what's going on here before we sign off. Because I see that you've said, okay, so we're in agreement then that the helmet goes to the Chiefs. There's not a question about that if I'm understanding you correctly, but I'm trying to make sure before I sign off, because if there is a question, I just want to get it addressed while we're still on the broadcast. So we're good. Okay. All right, guys, then that is the end of everything for tonight. We got some full-size helmets and some jerseys and some more mini helmets and, of course, all kinds of cards that will be ending this week. And hopefully I will see you guys on another break. In the meantime, I appreciate you very much. Thanks for spending your time and your money with me and hanging out with me. And have a great rest